Ready to make fashion fireworks? Right now at Old Navy, get up to 60% off the entire store during Old Navy's Red, White, and New sale. Save big with items for $2, $4, $6, and $8, including women's tanks for just $2. And up to 60% off summer essentials like flip-flops, tank tops, swimwear, and shorts. Get more bang for your buck with up to 60% off your favorite all-American styles right now at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Select styles only. Entire store offer valid 6/28 to 7/5. Excludes clearance, gift cards, register lane items, jewelry, today-only deals, two-day only deals.
Good morning, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to No BS Hiring Advice Radio, which I simulcast as a Google Hangout that'll be available on YouTube later on this morning. It's a time where I'd like to spend about 15 minutes speaking with you about some element of hiring, staffing, recruiting, the process from a corporate perspective of doing the selection process and talent acquisition. I do this because I believe that hiring staff doesn't have to be as hard, difficult, painful, or take as long as it does. It's just that many of you have systems in place that impede the process of doing the hiring that you say you want to do. So that's where this show comes in helpful. My e-zine, which is also called No BS Hiring Advice e-zine, which I publish in alternate weeks with my other e-zine. They're each designed to give advice. So if you'd like to receive a complimentary subscription to No BS Hiring Advice e-zine, come over to my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. You'll see a place where you can subscribe to that one, or my other one, which is No BS Job Search Advice, which if you happen to be looking for a position while you're still in the talent acquisition role, you can subscribe to that. Between the two, I've got tons of great content at my website that'll help you with hiring, that'll help you with finding work. So again, my website is thebiggamehunter.us. In the meantime, this show is brought to you by two sponsors. The first one is Audible. Audible is a service where you can listen to audiobooks from any mobile device, or from the web for that matter. And if you go to audibletrial.com/thebiggamehunter and sign up for a free trial, you'll get a free audiobook as part of that trial. The other subscriber is consultingassignments.com, which is a site where you can find and fill consulting assignments, surprise, full-time consulting positions, temp to perm, and contract to hire opportunities anywhere in the world completely free. Posting a job or a resume is free. Searching jobs and resumes is also free, as is the ability to contact one another. The only thing the site will charge for is if you want to feature a job or a resume is a whopping $10 for 30 days. Ooh. And if you're going to feature more than one position, they have prices and programs that will take the cost down even more. So again, consultingassignments.com. So this is going to be my last show for 2014. I'll be back probably the first week in 2015 with more No BS hiring advice. Let me just start by thanking you for starting to listen to my podcast. I hope you find it helpful. And I want to do a show about recruiters and choosing a recruiting firm to work with. Now, I think the best analogy I can give about my beliefs here starts off with an experience I had many years ago when I was still living in New York. And I wound up in litigation with the owners of this building that I was living in. Now, I had this triplex penthouse apartment with roof rights. The roof rights were spelled out in my lease very explicitly. When one of the building owners said he wanted to build an extension of his apartment up onto the roof and needed a little bit of my space, I said, sure, no problem, but one stipulation, no windows overlooking my property. Fine, he agrees to it, and one day I'm seeing windows being framed out, and I demanded that the construction stop, and we wound up in court. Now, let me get to the important part of this story. I chose the top tenant attorney in New York to represent me. And I had the name attorney from that firm. So it's the guy whose name was on the shingle was the attorney for the firm, and he represented me. In contrast, the building owner hired the top landlord attorney in New York, but he had the junior staff representing him. And when all was said and done, every time the building owner tried to pull a shenanigan, like serving me with something on a Friday afternoon before a long weekend designed to upset me and my wife, I would call Brett, and he would immediately have them enjoined from taking any sort of action that they were threatening to take over that weekend. And they basically had the beginners working on their case versus me having the killer attorney. Maybe the firm was the top attorney, but they didn't have the top attorneys working for them. And that's where I want to start off with here. When you're hiring a recruiting firm to work for you, who are you really getting? Who's going to be your point person? Is it going to, you may have this name firm. I'm not going to mention the major names in the search business in your market area or anywhere in the world, but are you getting the top people in the office working with you? Or are you getting the junior staff as your interface? Now, the junior staff could be great gophers. They may be the ones that could back up the lead individual, but and their energy may be terrific with filling positions. But is that really who you want to be dealing with day in and day out? Do you want to be paying for their on-the-job education by teaching them what they need to know in order to fill a position? Or do you want to get the top person in that office representing you? Do you want a solo practitioner? Right now in my career, I've chosen to be a solo practitioner. I network with recruiters all over the world to fill positions. So when I'm working with a client, I'm the point person. I've got more than 40 years of search experience, and they're buffered from all the sorts of issues that could come with nonsense resumes. I'm filtering them out for people who are trying to be helpful, but just don't know what my client really needs. So, I start off by saying, you need to get an experienced person on your case, because experience has taught me, my experiences in that legal situation taught me that getting the top person, getting top people to represent me made a world of difference in that case. And boy, did I hammer them. Boy, did I get a lot of money from them at that time. It was one of the pivot points in my time in New York, and I did very well from that. And at the end of the day, the owners and I still remained good friends, which was amazing. We're suing one another. I'm under surveillance. I'm beating them in a lawsuit to the point where they've got to settle, and we're still friends. So, at the end of the day, you want to get a top person representing you. Why? Like I said, you start off with the idea that you don't have to educate them on the basics of doing the job and understanding what your needs are. They know the right questions to ask, and that's gives you and them a huge advantage in time to facilitate the hire. If you're working with a recruiter or a junior recruiter or a rookie recruiter, you're taking the time to teach them. And most HR professionals, most hiring managers, most small business owners, I know, don't have the time to do that education. So go for the experienced person. Now, within that, I have to encourage you. Unfortunately, many recruiters, many agents are taught to lie to cover up their lack of experience. So I remember talking with one person, I was interviewing them for a firm I was last associated with in New York. I'm interviewing this person who's telling me that she has 15 years of experience doing technology recruiting. I go to her LinkedIn profile, she's got barely 3. So To verify what you're told, go to the LinkedIn profile before you commit any time or resources. Now, in going to the LinkedIn profile, you may not see a lot of information, but you're minimally verifying the amount of time that they've spent in the search industry. So start off by asking them how long they've been there, chatting with them a little bit about their experience, indicating you're interested but would like to get back to them. Or if you have the time and inclination while you're on the phone with them, use your keyboard skills, log on to LinkedIn, see what their background is, and make a decision live. But I would encourage you, take a little bit of time to reflect on the answers, because many recruiters are fabulous with the BS, and you don't want to waste your time with someone who's just going to bully you. So again, start off with an experienced person, verify what you're told. If you ask them for clients, I know I never reveal a client because it's basically like asking for I don't like to give away who I'm working with, not because I've done a poor job, but because they're entitled to privacy. However, what you can do is talk to people in your organization to see if they've had any experience with that search firm, good or bad. Do they know anything about that firm, good or bad? Do a Google search about the firm and the individual. If you use a service like Glassdoor, for example, you can't take everything literally that you see there, because people who've left the agency who post to Glassdoor are going to be very expressive about why that agency stinks. And you may see the exact opposite post, which is the agency owner or manager posting something there that says something inane like, great place to work, you get what you put into it. Ridiculous. So take away the extremes, look for the textured answers there. When you're looking at the LinkedIn profile, see how many comments or testimonials exist for that person. You might try contacting one of them to see what they might tell you beyond simply what's there. How are they to work with? What struggles did they have? You're not looking for perfection, but you're looking for discernment to see whether or not this is just fluff and bull. So those are a couple of points. I think a lot of the other things like might relate to a temp agency, what sort of screening process do they engage in? Do they do background checks? How do they go about doing pre-employment verification? You want to get a sense of how thorough they are. How do they handle billing? Can they work with your systems? That's geared toward the temp market. But overall, just start off by looking at whether or not you're getting someone experienced, whether they're telling you the truth about their background. Check a reference with people internal to your organization, and then go to people who are listed on their LinkedIn profile as people providing references for them, and see what they have to say. So that's my advice for checking out a recruiter before you get immersed with them. I want to encourage you that if I can help you with staffing, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help with recruiting. My email address is jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. Send me an email. Let's figure out a time to chat. Or give me a call at 646-374-8656. Google Voice will ask your name, give you a few seconds to say it. Once I hear it, I'll pick up. If you're sending an email to me, you might just put something in the subject line that says, heard your podcast, and I'll know what this is in reference to. Again, I also want to encourage you, go exploring at my website, because I have great content that will help you there with hiring, staffing, recruiting, however you want to describe it. Previous podcasts of this show are available through the site. Again, thebiggamehunter.us. Also want to mention that if we're not already connected on LinkedIn, send me a connection request. The address is linkedin.com/IN/the big game hunter. I accept connection requests from people worldwide, except if you're a third-party recruiter or in a country known for scams or spam. Solely at my discretion, I'll make the call. So this is Jeff Altman. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy New Year to you. Hope you found this show helpful. I'll be back after the first. Take care.
Ready to make fashion fireworks? Right now at Old Navy, get up to 60% off the entire store during Old Navy's Red, White, and New sale. Save big with items for $2, $4, $6, and $8, including women's tanks for just $2. And up to 60% off summer essentials like flip-flops, tank tops, swimwear, and shorts. Get more bang for your buck with up to 60% off your favorite all-American styles right now at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Select styles only. Entire store offer valid 6/28 to 7/5. Excludes clearance, gift cards, register lane items, jewelry, today only deals, today only deals.
Right now at Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory, save 50 to 70% off everything in stores and online. That's right, 50 to 70% off everything. Celebrate the 4th with dresses from $19.99 at Banana Republic Factory. And at Gap Factory stores, tees start at $4.99. Plus, save an extra 40% off clearance. Sale ends Tuesday. Search our store locator for your nearest Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory store or shop us online.